Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you. Today I want to get into a really dope pair of kicks. I have been waiting for these shoes to get here for about 3 weeks now. I ordered these from GOAT. I'm talking about the Pine Green SB Jordan 4s. At the time that I bought these, I just grabbed the cheapest size available. I did that for a couple reasons. One was because I wanted to have a review around the time that these were released. As you can see, I didn't get them near quick enough. And another reason why I wanted to look at this pair is because I want to see if I think it's worth paying resale myself for my own size. But we'll get into all that. I can't wait to look at them with you. I took a peek at them. They are definitely a fire pair of kicks. If you're into shoes and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these Pine Green SB 4s. Alright, so like I said, I didn't grab my size. I grabbed a size 8.5. At that time on GOAT, it was the cheapest size available. I think I paid about $310 before fees on these. After fees, it was about $350. It's pretty steep, but I did so just thinking that I could probably recoup most of my money. Even if I do end up losing a couple of bucks on them, I just figure that's the cost of making a review. And two, I really do just want to see if I think it's a shoe worth buying in my size. My size at that time was about $50 more than what these were. Now my size is going for about $385 on GOAT, and with fees and everything, that puts them up around $430. So that's pretty significant. I definitely want to look at these before I decide to pull the trigger and buy a pair for myself. But starting with this box, I think even this is sexy. This nice cream color. I love the flight text on there with a nice gray Jumpman. I like the little hits on the side that say Nike and SB. I just think it's dope to see all that together, the Jumpman, Nike, and SB. I have never had any Jordan SB before, and this is the first time there's ever been an SB Jordan 4. So I can see how these would appeal to collectors just because it's the first time we've ever gotten anything like this. It's pretty much like a collab between SB and the Jordan brand. And everybody knows that a 4 is about as hot as it gets whenever it comes to Jordan silhouettes. The tag reads Air Jordan 4 Retro SP. The colors are sail, white, and pine green. Like I said, this is a size 8.5, and you can see the GOAT sticker there. I did get these from GOAT. I think retail on these was $220. It was over 200 bucks, I'm pretty sure. So, like I said, I spent about $350 all in for them, but I'm pretty sure I can recoup most of that investment back. Honestly, when it came to this shoe and images of this shoe and everything, I was pretty skeptical. Like, I thought it looked good. I think most 4s look good. Like a lot of sneakerheads, 4s are up there as one of my favorite silhouettes. I still prefer 4s and 1s over all other Jordans. The first thing they remind me of is like the military blacks, which I have in my collection. But I like this shade of green. I really like the gum outsole that you see on the back and on the front. I think that just goes very, very well with this nice pine green. And then the little hits of red on the tongue, they really pop off of there. I didn't realize that in the air bubble, I didn't realize that it's red in there, but I think that's a cool little hit of color as well. And then I really, really like this, the Nike SB on the back. That just looks so dope to me, but I like them. I like them a lot. They're really nice. I had a feeling that the materials would be good, but this leather it's real soft. It's actually, I would call this buttery leather, but as it should be. I feel like most Jordans that are, you know, $200 or something, you would expect to have buttery leather on them, but like, look at this tongue. This is a good example. It's a pretty smooth leather, but you can see this almost has like a tumbled look to it, and it's not fake. It's just the real texture of the leather. These things are really, really nice. Very soft leather. I love that shade of like sail or cream, whatever it is. It just goes so perfectly with the pine green and everything. Of course, I tried to go for these whenever they dropped, and of course, I took an L. I don't know how high numbers were of these, but I wasn't able to hit for retail. Now, if I would have hit for retail, I definitely would have been keeping them in the collection. But we'll talk later about if I think I'm going to spend resale prices for these or not. I'll tell you right off the top, I love these kicks. I absolutely love these kicks. I think that this shade of green along with the sail, I think it makes them perfect for the weather getting nicer with spring and summer coming. They're just vibrant, you know. The shape of them is really nice. They're not real clunky or anything. And like I already said, this leather on here is nice. I would actually call this buttery. They definitely use quality on these. And as far as like the QC, I don't see any glue anywhere. The paint on that green on the midsole looks perfect, and it's nowhere that it shouldn't be. There's no, you know, weird shapes or weird stitching or anything like that. It's just, at first glance, these look pretty much perfect to me. So A+ on these. I'm glad Jordan Brand and Nike SB came together and got these things right. They're dope. They're really, really good. Looking at this outsole, it's got a standard 4 tread pattern. I'm pretty sure it's the same as usual. A lot of times with non-OGs, you'll just have a Jumpman here, but we have the Nike emblem and the swoosh, and that's in that nice red color. Looks nice. It really pops off of that white. And then in the back and in the front where we have those stars, we have that nice gum color. And I just love the way it goes with the rest of the colors of the shoe. And actually, I have my military blacks right here. So here's a regular Jordan 4 outsole, and there's the SB. I think the traction pattern is pretty much exactly the same. I know for like SB dunk lows and regular dunk lows, the traction changes just a little bit, but on these it looks like it's just about identical, with the exception of this being a non-OG, it has the Jumpman on it. This one has the Nike branding on it. While I've got this handy, obviously you can see why this shoe reminds me of the military black. It's got that nice hit of suede there in the front, and these military blacks have nice leather, but the leather on these is definitely better than what the military blacks have. Overall though, I do prefer this colorway. I think this will just go with anything, absolutely anything, whereas this one you'd kind of have to coordinate your outfit to it a little bit more. Not saying that I like these less, but let me know which one you would prefer to have in your collection. If you don't have either, or if you have them both, I just feel like this is more of like an everyday, you don't have to think about it, it'll go with anything shoe. But anyhow, you can see that white rubber wraps up to the midsole area, and that meets some areas of painted foam that are that nice pine green. And like I noted before, there's like no brush strokes, barely at all. There's no bubbles, the paint isn't where it shouldn't be. They just look neat as can be. And again, there's that air unit, and I don't know if you can see the inside or not, but it's a red color, and I love that little pop of color hidden in there. But then coming up to the upper of the shoe, here on the mug guard, we have this area of suede. It's kind of like a tan color. It's like a natural tannish gray color, but again, it just goes perfectly with this gum outsole and the pine green on the shoe. And it's not like a crazy high-end material or anything. It's really thick. It's kind of got a rough feel to it, but I do think it's quality. I like that they gave us a thick piece. I feel like that's probably functional just because it is an SB, and this nice thick suede would probably help to protect the leather from getting all chewed up, you know, as quick as what it would have if it wasn't there. But then just below that, like I mentioned before, this leather is A+. Love it. I love the color of it. I love the feel of it. And it's real nice thick cuts of leather. It's very soft. You get those ripples on it, and that's throughout the whole shoe. It's not just in the toe box area. But I really, really like that material for that leather base. and I really like that sail colorway. I think it looks really good. I think these look so much better with the sail base than what they would have if they were just white. And again, for reference, this being sail and the military blacks have a bright white base. So hopefully you can see the difference in color. But then, like we always get, we have these kind of ventilation areas that are kind of like a breathable mesh, and then you've got this netting over top of it. Again, that's in a sail color to match the upper of the shoe, but we have those little windows on the side panels and then on the base of the tongue. We're used to seeing that on 4s. We've got these basketball net accents going up the eyelets, and those are in that pine green color. And the rubber on here feels a lot softer than what it feels like on other 4s, both on these rubber accents but also on this heel tab. It's a lot softer than what we usually get on Jordan 4s, but I like these green accents. And then at the base of this one, it's just more of a sail color, but that's in a nice thin rubber, and it feels softer than what it usually does. The laces on these are a sail color to go with the upper. It didn't come with any extras, and they're not like SB style, they're just flat laces. At the top of the tongue, we have more of that premium feeling leather, and the tag is white or off-white, and it's got that red Jumpman with Flight in pine green written just below that. Looks like our sock liner is off-white or sail, and just behind the tongue, it's in that pine green color. And like we're used to getting on Jordan 4s, we have Air Jordan written upside down. And then we have another pop of red for the insole, and it says Nike SB Air down on there. So like I said in the beginning, I bought this pair because it was more affordable, and I wanted them for the review for whenever they drop, but that didn't happen. But I'm still glad I got to see them and make this review, and I'm glad I got to see them in hand before I spent $100 extra on buying my own size in these. These shoes are absolute fire. I think they're incredible. Best shoe of the year so far, I think that's debatable. For me, I probably prefer the white cement 3s, but I kind of have grown more and more fond of like OG colorways the older that I get. These are up there, these are close, and I think the quality on these is probably better than, well, I know it's better. The quality on these is better than the white cement 3s, but I just prefer the style and the OG factor of those white cement 3s a little bit more. For me, what makes me want the shoe is obviously I collect sneakers. You know, obviously I'm a sneakerhead. I like collecting sneakers. I like buying dope sneakers to wear. I also just like buying sneakers that are collectible. It's like baseball cards. It's like anything else. I like buying something. The fact that this is the first Jordan 4 SB, for somebody like me, that makes them very appealing. Like, I don't fault anyone for grabbing these for their collection. If they were still around 300 bucks, I'd probably swap some shoes out of my collection and grab them. Right now, they're too much. I'm not going to spend anything near a car payment, a truck payment on a pair of shoes. And if I did spend that, I would have a hard time wearing them. Because for me, it's hard to justify spending over $400 on a pair of shoes to put on my feet and put on the dirty earth, you know what I mean? And two, if I was at a different stage of life, you know, it might be a different story. But I got 3 kids. I got 3 kids, a mortgage, all kinds of bills. I'm going to have kids driving soon, going to have kids going to college soon, all that stuff. So I just have to make wise decisions. So for me, taking all that into consideration, not to take away from the shoes, but for me, I won't be paying resell to get my size in these. I think they are absolute fire. I love 4s, but at the same time, I've got maybe 6 or 7 pair of 4s. I think I have 2 or 3 pairs in the rotation right now, but I still have like 3 or 4 pairs that are still dead stock that I haven't even worn. So I just don't think that for me it would be a wise decision to spend that much money just to have another box of shoes sitting there just so I can say, yeah, I got these. Now, could I see these going up in value as time goes on? Absolutely. But my money is better served, you know, putting it in my retirement or something than what it would be to invest in a pair of shoes just for them to increase a couple $100s over a couple of years, if that makes any sense. I don't advocate putting shoes on cards. If you don't have the cash to buy them, I really don't recommend buying them. And right now they're crazy expensive, but for me, it's not an OG. This isn't a grail. This isn't something that I've always wanted. It is very collectible. If I would have hit them for retail, they'd be staying in my collection. If they were sitting at like 300, I'd definitely be thinking differently. But right now, I can't spend $430, $450 for a pair of these shoes. It just doesn't make sense to me. As dope as they are, they're already out of my price range, and that's just the reality of it. But let me know what you all think about these. I've been going on a rant. I definitely think they're fire. They are so, so good. And if you have the funds and you want them, I don't fault you in getting them. They're definitely a really, really cool pair of shoes. The very first Jordan 4 SB, I mean, they did these well. They really did these well. So let me know what you think about them. Let me know if you were able to hit for retail or if you're thinking about buying them for resale. I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts. But I appreciate y'all watching so much, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.